Hello and welcome back to the Rugby Connection podcast. As always, for the fans, by the fans. Well, Dynamic Duo is back once again, and there's a lot of green, white, and gold on Cam's end. Cam, how are you? And care to explain?
Yeah, not too bad. The hay fever is killing me, and it's very, very hot up in my loft, but it's fine. Yeah, I don't know why. I just saw all my Springbok jerseys sitting there, and I felt patriotic when I opened my jersey cupboard. So I was like, fuck all the other rugby that's gone on. I just all South Africa. So I'll run you through them. 2007 World Cup jersey, 2011 World Cup jersey, 2015 World Cup jersey, 2019 World Cup jersey, 2021 Lions Tour jersey, and I'm wearing the 2009 Lions Tour jersey.
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm just saying, you can have that whole setup for the World Cup.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Whereas I am sticking to the theme of the winner's circle. I've even got a Moana Pacifica top on.
Yes, but we'll get onto that.
Yeah, so if you're normal with us, if you're used to this programming, there's no URC this week. There's no Prem this week. It's finished.
It's
finished
done.
it last week.
No European rugby, nothing. It's all gone.
We have Super Rugby. Cam really wants to talk about some Currie Cup, so I'm going to let him because there's not much else and we're clutching at straws. There's top 14, even though we've never mentioned any of it.
Yeah, but it's playoffs, so we'll talk about the playoffs.
And, of course, news and obviously...
a lot of news to cover. And
random game of the week. But we'll start in the Southern Hemisphere. You know what, I'll just because you're very...
I'm ready to go with the Currie Cup. You're going to let me start on that?
I'm going to let you start, yes.
Right. Mainly, I just want to talk about how the Currie Cup's going and whatnot, but I'll run through the scores quickly. We are one round away from the playoffs. It's a round robin. Everybody plays each other twice. If you don't know how the Currie Cup works, home and away. This week, we had on the Friday night, Griquas hosting Western Province. 38-29 win for the Griquas. A good win for them against Province at home. Bulls versus the Griffins. Now, earlier in the season, when the Bulls went over to the Griffins' home field, a famous result. The Griffins beat the Bulls for the very, very first time in history. Massive result, but this time the Bulls put the hurt on in Pretoria, 64-33 on the Griffins. Now, the Saturday, this is where it gets interesting for me. The Cheetahs and the Pumas, two of the big guns in this year's Currie Cup, 29-14 win for the Cheetahs away from home in Nelspruit, in my hometown. The Pumas, they've actually done the reverse because the Pumas absolutely hammered the Cheetahs when they went to Bloemfontein. This time the Cheetahs have gone to Nelspruit and have beaten the Pumas. And then the big result for me, Sharks versus Lions. We were at home in the Shark Tank, 29-21 win for the Sharks. We're on a good winning streak. Now, the Sharks did not perform very well in the URC, but we are currently topping the Currie Cup table with 48 points. The Cheetahs are behind us on 46. And then the next best team are 10 points behind them, being the Pumas on 36. So if we can get a draw or just a win, I believe we stay on top of the table and we get a home semi-final. And if we get through that, a home final.
Ooh.
So
nice.
The odds of us winning this competition is looking in our favor. Current top four right now, we've got the Sharks on top, Cheetahs in second, Pumas in third, and the Bulls in fourth. Potential qualifiers, depending on various results. The Griquas on 35 points could make a top four spot, could push into third. Western Province could also manage to get a top spot, and I think the Lions, unfortunately, are too far away to manage to make a playoff spot. But this is the second year now that I've properly paid attention to Currie Cup, because living in the UK, it's very hard to get a hold of a broadcast that does it. Luckily now I pay for VPNs so I can poach other broadcasts and whatnot. But very, very excited about the Currie Cup. And yeah, definitely good to see a lot of good young talent potentially making their way into URC teams and into the international setup. So that's my little Currie Cup segment.
Love that.
Nice and quick, nice and snappy. If you don't watch the Currie Cup and you're bored and want something to watch, I think Flow Rugby If you've got a VPN, get Flow Rugby, and you can watch Currie Cup, you can watch Super Rugby, you can watch URC, you can watch other things, MLR, if you're interested in that. But yeah.
You were doing well. You were doing well. Or you could just watch the highlights on YouTube.
No.
Actually, no, you can't, because we're on YouTube, so you have to watch us instead. There you go. Anyway, Super Rugby.
Yes.
Final round of the regular season. And, oh my God, it had drama, it had heartache, it had joy, it had everything.
This is the round we needed for the final round.
Absolutely. This is what we all strive for in the regular season. So we'll go straight into it. Blues get a narrow win over the Highlanders, 16 points to 9.
Yeah.
Brumbies get fairly normal win against Australian rivals Rebels, 33 points to 17. Fijian Drua getting a big win in Fiji, obviously that's what they do, against the Reds, 41-17 to the Drua. Hurricanes getting a famous victory over Crusaders, 27-26. The streak has finally ended. That is why I'm wearing the jersey this week. Moana Pacifica getting the win on the road against the Waratahs, 33 points to 24. And lastly, the Chiefs, you're not stopping them this season, 43 points against the Force, who put only 19 on them.
Yeah,
so, well done. Shall we just go straight to Fiji? Because where else are we going to start?
Oh my God. They needed this game to make it into the qualifying playoff spots. And what a way to do it. 41-17 over the Reds. They outplayed the Reds in every single aspect of the game. I'm talking set piece. I'm talking defense, attack. I'm talking physicality. Just doing Fiji things.
Might I add that it was 17-0 at halftime?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It just got worse.
Absolutely disgusting.
Worst time ever that they are in the playoffs.
Only their second season of being in existence, and they are up there with, teams like the Chiefs, the Crusaders in the playoff spots. They've beaten the Crusaders this season. They've now beaten the Reds.
2 former champions. Yeah.
2 former, exactly. So this is a very encouraging team. We spoke about it with Moana Pacifica. Moana Pacifica sort of being criticized in a way for representing like the Samoan Island, Samoa and Tonga, but having a lot of Kiwi based players.
It feels like, I could be wrong, but this is how it's came across to me. I just feel like Moana Pacifica right now is that gap between like the Mitre 10 and the big boys in New Zealand.
Yeah, also for me right now, Moana Pacifica feels like just the 6th New Zealand franchise.
It shouldn't be a New Zealand franchise.
No.
We've said this weeks and weeks. It should be.
It should be. I feel like they should rotate their home field, once in Tonga, once in Samoa.
Just bounce between the two islands.
I think that would be class. But no, back to Fiji. Fiji and Drua, should I say. Absolutely immense. They play such an exciting brand of rugby. And if we're looking at this performance, and a lot of these players, represent on the international level as well, we could be seeing a very, very strong Fiji team going into the World Cup. In a pool with Georgia, Wales, and Australia, who are on a bit of a rebuild with Eddie Jones, Wales, who have lost a lot of key players,
and just keep getting more, but we'll get into that later on.
So yeah. Should we talk about Moana Pacifica, because they get their very first win of the season? Yes. A good win over the Tars, and might I say away from home as well.
It's Michael Hooper's last game.
Last game.
Last home game for the Tars.
Where's he going?
I don't know. A lot of these older boys are now leaving, and
I feel like he'll end up in Japan or something.
Make that sweet yen before hanging up the boots. It makes sense.
I feel like that's where a lot of Because you see, if you go over watch a bit of Japanese League One, you'll see players that you thought had retired years ago just cutting about.
Like Greg Liddell. I know he retired, but he's just retired, so there you go.
But
older
Marky Mark scored the first try.
Of course. Go on. Just because it's the last of the regular season, say his surname.
Nawakatinowase.
There you go.
He gets the opening try. So Waratah's open, but then out of nowhere, and you sort of saw this against their amazing game against Drua last week. Try from Awana. They've got the ability, they've got the talent, they've got the players to just absolutely bludgeon teams. And when I say bludgeon, I mean bludgeon teams.
Yeah. I mean, there is one player I want to give a little more credit to. Just because he did score and he was on the winning side, but just because today, as of recording, it seems like he might switch allegiance, so he might be ready for the World Cup, and I really hope it happens because it makes sense for all parties. Christian Liliafano has said he's interested in playing for Samoa. Ooh, let's get it.
Just do it.
Do it. Yeah. Don't even think twice about it.
Talking about credit to try scorers on the opposite side, obviously saying it was Michael Hooper's final game, he does get the final try of the final try of the match. A pretty good send off for him. Where he's going, I don't know. Christ, how many clubs has he been at? He's been at Tars and Brumbies.
I didn't know he was a Brumby boy to begin with. I thought he was always...
he was Brumbies to start, and he's been a Tar for as long as I can remember.
Well over 140 appearances, I think it is.
Yeah, exactly. What a player, you know.
And
still one of these players going into a World Cup, one of the older players. I mean, whether or not Eddie Jones, what he's going to do with his squad, Michael Hooper's going to be there, no doubt.
I hope so.
He should be there.
I really hope so.
But
it was another last home game, sadly. But over in New Zealand, it was Dane Coles' last game at home.
It was for the old Canes.
Yeah. And, you know, this is what I love about rugby. So if you watch the game, him and Cody Taylor are proper at each other's throat all game. Soon as that final whistles, bring it in, mate. Love you, bud.
I also...
It should be.
Just sort of a shout out to, I suppose, Kiwi culture. And to be honest, the culture of a lot of the Pacific Islands and whatnot, his final game, and in the stands, I believe, ex-players for the Hurricanes and current players on the bench and whatnot, and probably some fans as well, friends and family, performing a haka for Den Coles. I love it. I don't know what it is. Something about a haka just gives me goosebumps. It makes me emotional just watching it. Yeah, you know, what a culture. What a special culture.
It is special. It is absolutely special.
Just the whole, you know, the Kiwis, Samoans, Tongans, Fijians, you know, Aboriginal, and all that Pacific Island culture, just the passion, and they bring that into rugby, and oh my God, it makes rugby so much better.
Very proud people.
Something football will never have, might I add.
What, culture? There's some culture, it's just not the best culture.
No, I'm talking about that sort of, you don't see a haka. What are do the All Whites, are they called the All Whites, the New Zealand football team? Do they do the haka?
I imagine if they do well, probably. Not before a game, not like the All Blacks do, because...
No.
I know the basketball team does a haka.
They do, I've seen that. It's a bit...
It's weird because the trainers keep squeaking on the court.
Yeah. And I'm used to seeing absolute massive units perform the haka and seeing basketball players.
To be fair, they are massive.
Like, yeah, they're tall.
Big boys.
Yeah, but it's not quite Samasoni Takiaho, though, is it?
That's a special shout out of that. Fair enough. I like that.
Wow, there we are.
shall we do predictions?
Predictions, yes, please.
Finals. So starting off, Blues hosting the Waratahs.
This is difficult because I feel like the Blues have been sort of tapering off to the end of the season. They've been struggling. Actually, throughout the whole season, they've had a few games that you'd think them to be definite favourites. And they've either just squeaked by, like that Moana Pacifica game, and like that Highlanders game.
She called them the highlighters, though.
The highlighters, the Highlanders. It's been a very long day at work.
So
Blues versus the Tars. The Blues are at home. The Blues are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say like a 20-point to 16 game or something like that. Very, very tight affair. I can see happening.
I actually think this is where they start turning it back up, and I'm gonna go Blues by 13. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the leaders, the favourites, essentially going into this year, the Chiefs. Host, Salakar, Reds.
Chiefs by 20 points plus.
They want revenge because remember the Reds beat them at home.
They want the revenge. The Reds absolutely obliterated by Fijian Drua, and that's no disrespect to Fijian Drua, but the Chiefs are a step up. The Chiefs are a step up from anyone else in this competition. The Chiefs, and especially in a playoff rugby. Yeah, Chiefs by 20 plus.
Yeah, I'll be a bit more nice. I'll be a bit kinder. I'll say by 17. But yeah, I could see them.
Yeah, I can see an absolute routing.
The next one, Crusaders host Fijian Drua.
You know what I want to happen? I want the Fijians to go through and just a 1 point win. Do it again. Do a 1-pointer over the Crusaders.
In Christchurch.
But exactly, in Christchurch, and the fact that the Crusaders have been there, done it over and over and over and over and over again, and got the results so many times against more established opponents, more successful opponents. It's gonna be the Crusaders. And if it's not, and if Fiji win, I'll renounce my South African citizenship and become Fijian. But it's going to be the Crusaders, unfortunately. I think Fiji will give it a good go, but I think that second half that we've seen the Crusaders through the whole season, they just really knuckle down and just put their foot on the throat of the opposition. I can see a close first half and then Crusaders to run away with it by 15 points in the second.
God. I don't want the fairy tale to be over, but it's going to be.
Listen, they've got to a quarterfinal in their second ever season, should I say? First time in a quarterfinal. You can see them going up from here, but unfortunately, this season, no.
I want it to continue, Cam. I do.
It might. You don't trust my predictions because I've been wrong plenty of times.
My head is saying Crusaders. My heart says Fiji.
Obviously my heart is saying Fiji, but yeah, Crusaders too much for the Drua in a quarterfinal in Christchurch.
I'm going to say Crusaders by 6, but I really hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
And the final one, Brumbies host the Hurricanes.
It's an interesting one because I feel like the Brumbies at various points throughout the season have, similar to the Blues actually, have slipped up in games that they shouldn't be.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree with that.
The flip side of the Blues prediction, I said I still think the Blues are going to get their job done. I think the Hurricanes are going to beat the Brumbies. I think it's going to be Canes by like 4 or 5 points.
Just because, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the other teams. If Australia have a chance to win Super Rugby, it's coming from Brumbies. It's not coming anywhere else.
No. Like you see the Reds versus the Chiefs. The Tars versus the Blues, the Tars could get it done, but past that, they'd have to face either the Crusaders or the Chiefs, I believe. In fact, they'd have to face they'd have to face the Crusaders
or Fiji.
Or Fiji.
Sorry.
You know, if the Brumbies go through, they have to face the Chiefs
or the Reds. Ha!
No.
Just for that, I'm going to say Brumbies by 3. Just because
I'd listen. I want the Brumbies to win because I like there to be. Ideally, I would like to see, let's say, Blues, Chiefs, Drua, and Brumbies to win.
Proper Pacific.
So then we have like semi-finals. Anyone could claim it.
Fair. Not Super Rugby Aotearoa. As fun as that was during the pandemic.
Bit dull.
Just because you had Super Rugby Unlocked or whatever rubbish you had yours called.
Oh, Super Rugby Unlocked with the Cheetahs and the Kings and the beautiful.
Not better at all about that one, are you, Cam?
No. Anyway,
we're going to go over to France now because even though we haven't discussed it really all year, apart from the Challenge and Champions Cup, it is the knockout rounds of top 14. And might I add, I actually like this. So it's not the top 8 that plays in this. It's the 3rd to 8th. No. Yeah. Yeah. Because the top 2 places get a bye to the semi-final.
Yeah.
That just makes sense to me.
Yeah. Because then you're not having you're not having that freak occurrence of the best performing teams being knocked out by a Perpignan or something.
Leinster. Sorry.
Who said that?
Windy out. It's windy out there. Sorry.
It is. It must be a passerby, traffic or something.
We had little Paris derby.
Yes.
We had Stade Francais versus Racing 92. Racing getting the win, 33 points to 20. All I need to say is, Marcus Kremer, what are you doing, mate? What was that?
What? Why? 5 minutes into the game as well. Why?
Why'd you do it on Finn? What did Finn do?
You are going to Bath.
Just probably went to him or something.
Yeah, probably a goodbye present. Enjoy the Premiership, mate. It
wasn't even just the hit on Finn Russell, which was already the red card. He then,
yeah. He's one of those players, like, honestly, throughout, I feel like internationally, he's wound up his discipline a bit. But obviously when it comes to club rugby, I suppose he just bundled in so much fury for so ages and just let it loose.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah, it's not the best. But I mean, how many cards did we see this game? 3 yellow cards and a red.
Yeah.
But Finn Russell on point with kicking.
Oh, absolutely. His kicking this season
has been immense.
Ridiculously impressive. And I absolutely love it. Because, and again, it is a very selfish point of view, for Scotland, when Greg Laidlaw retired, there wasn't really a kicker because Finn wasn't kicking for Racing at the time.
No.
But
was there not a stint where Hoggy was taking your kicks?
Hoggy can take long distance, but because of the style we play, we never went
Hoggy's a very much like a France Stain where he's got the power to knock it over, but the accuracy's not always there.
That's fair. So there was that weird time where it would just kind of fall on anyone.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that's sorted now. Anyway, moving on to the other quarterfinal. Lyon hosted Bordeaux, and Bordeaux go through 32-25.
Lyon having a mare of a season in terms of playoff spots, aren't they?
It's not been the best for them. But you know what? Bordeaux's a very good team. I rate Bordeaux.
Yeah, no, Bordeaux, a very good team. You know, the Sharks played them twice this year, especially that game we played them in France. Gave us an absolute run for our money. We squeaked past with a win. Very lucky to get a win there. So quality team, 100%.
Happy days. And not really much more to say on it. We'll just do predictions for the semi-finals because they are juicy fixtures. On the Friday night, Toulouse host Racing 92.
Yeah. It's gonna be Toulouse, isn't it?
I don't know. I really kind of want Racing. I've said this for
I
as
want
long.
Racing to win, but it's gonna be Toulouse. They've had some losses throughout the season with their sort of BC setup, obviously because their big guns have been playing other competitions. But a playoff spot, a semi-final in the top 14 now, they're going to go full out. Anton Dupont and Marc Ramos, everyone's going to be there. Goodbye, Racing. Sorry. It's as simple as that.
That's fair. Because you know what? The other semi-finals.
But the thing is, Racing have quality players as well. Gallant, Fiku, Russell, they've got quality there, but Toulouse's quality is a little bit better.
Well, I'm going to say Racing just to be different. I'm just going to be fun with it.
Okay.
I also don't follow top 14, so
I follow it. I keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I don't like. I'll look at the scoreboard, see like one ridiculous like highlight.
I've caught the tail end of a few. Like top 14 is like what I'll watch in between, like in that half an hour gap between like URC games if there's something on.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It's I'll probably tune in to watch the semi-finals though, because the next one is very interesting. La Rochelle versus Bordeaux.
I'm back in La Rochelle. We are going
Heineken Champion Cup winners versus Bordeaux.
Also had like, I think it's like 76 games at home sold out.
Yeah, it's mad. The La Rochelle fans are a different breed. Like just to think, like not even I'd say a decade ago, rugby was not big.
No.
There, and the turnaround, like La Rochelle are the centerpiece of their community now.
Actually, right, because you were praising how well Druas did in such a short time, right? La Rochelle got promoted to the top 14 5 years ago.
It's disgusting. And they've won 2 Champions Cups.
5 years in top flight French rugby, 4 years in Champions Cup rugby, 3 finals, 2 wins.
3 finals. They must have the best hit rate out of any team in their short time period. They're literally like that little that emoji of the graph just going up.
Yeah,
it's just woof up straight up. La Rochelle up. Sorry. Predictions: La Rochelle by. I don't know. Bordeaux, I think will give him a good running, but La Rochelle by 12.
So La Rochelle by 16. Just why not?
Dues.
We have some. We'll do rugby news first.
Yeah, let's do a rugby news. Let's stay in France. Because the cynical player himself, we've seen him in the Six Nations get red carded left, right, and centre 2 times against Scotland now. Old Mohamed Hawes has been arrested for, I believe, physical abuse on his partner.
Yes, apparently, and it doesn't make any sense and it doesn't justify anything, but apparently she said that she quit smoking and he went into the shopping centre where she worked and seen her smoking and he let loose.
No, it's, yeah. Do you know what? He strikes me. Unfortunately, it doesn't surprise me.
Sadly, yeah.
Sadly,
I'm pretty sure he was he not also up for like armed robbery a few years ago? Like he's an absolute psycho.
He's a bit of a loose. He's been a loose cannon on the pitch. Like I said, red carded twice. Against by chance against Scotland both years in the Six Nations. One time for just smacking someone, and the other time for just going head first into a ruck. but yeah, it's not a good look for our sport.
Oh my God! Sorry, I'm not sharing this. I'm not showing this. But so you type in his name. Obviously, that's the first thing that comes up. There's footage. Disgusting human being.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's something that you just don't want in your sport.
Nope.
It's one of those things that just it ruins it. Like, why? How? I don't know. I don't really want to speak about it too much, but we will just little RCP message. Physical abuse is not the way to go, especially against a partner, anyone, any relationship. What was that?
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be sexist. Don't be racist. Don't hit people.
But you know,
don't comment slurs on anything on social media. Shut up. Be a good person. Don't be an arsehole.
Be a good person. But yeah, he's serving time now and well deserved.
Good.
Shall we go on to some more unfortunate news, but a bit more upbeat?
This is driving me insane.
More dilemma for Wales.
Wales
he's hung his boots up. He said goodbye. Alan Wynne-Jones, Justin Tipperick, Rhys Webb, gone.
Well, Rhys Webb thinks he wants to play overseas. Can you not wait? Can you not wait? I'm just saying.
No, I think I genuinely, now this has happened, because Rhys Webb had a very good Six Nations.
Yeah, he was going to start this World Cup.
Definitely. I think he's said, fuck the WRU. I'm going to go somewhere where I can make some good money before I retire.
That's sweet coin going, Rishi boy.
You know, I can see Rhys Webb in Japan comfortably.
Yeah.
Rhys Webb making money in Japan. He's, you know, he didn't have long left of his career anyway. Definitely had another World Cup in him and maybe a few years after that. But with the WRU right now, players' jobs are just not secure whatsoever.
Well, who else I would fully expect to look overseas? Rhys Kerr.
Yep.
Was, oh my, what did we just say? Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Rhys Kerr's not been a dick, but he has been released from the preliminary squad basically because he's unfit. That's basically the end of it. But instead of, you didn't even have to say it. They didn't even have to say it. They could have just said, due to circumstances, Rhys Kerr has withdrawn. Even so, you can make it up, say withdrew from the squad. Do not put what they put out. I'm gonna find it now, because for a governing body to put that out is
a bit mean.
Yeah. So hold on. We'll go to the ever reliable Wales Online. Good God. Yeah. I accept your cookies, whatever. Come on, where's the statement? Oh my God. Yeah, it was just horrible.
They essentially just called him fat.
They thought of the best PR way to say he's too fat.
He's too fat. Like, understandably, I'd understand if they had just come out and said, he's not up to standard. He's not up to standard for the squad.
There we go. Following ongoing discussions between the player and the Wales coaching team, Kerr has failed to meet individual performance targets set at the end of the 2023 Guinness Six Nations. Fat. Unfit. Not healthy.
But I don't know. That's the first time I've actually heard the quote. I read the rugby paper this morning, and there was a big article in it saying how fat shaming and everything. So I to be fair, like they could have, like the way I would have worded it would be, he's not up to standard.
Not even that. You could easily just say, due to discussions between the player and the coaching staff, Rhys Kerr has been withdrawn from the squad. That's it. You don't need any ins and outs.
Yeah, you could say that, but
no. It's just
if a player's not up to fitness, he's not up to fitness. You don't make the squad.
You need to say it though. Come on.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's just the WRU at their best right now.
Well,
It's just going to get worse. Because
but,
guess I have a feeling Lee Halfpenny or Dan Bigger or both.
honestly, I think Dan Bigger's move to France was the start of maybe something there.
His exodus, yeah.
Because how many players have we seen move to France not long before retirement?
It's fair. That's sweet, sweet money. You know who's actually rumoured to go to France, and I doubt he's retiring anytime soon? Marcus Smith.
Yes, Racing, I believe.
To another.
Racing, is it? That
they want to replace them? Yeah, they want
Marcus Smith, the Phil Finn Russell's boots at Racing. It's not a bad idea for Racing.
Who did Finn Russell replace at Racing?
I don't know. Who did he replace?
Dan Carter.
Oh, he did, didn't he? I completely forgot Dan Carter played for Racing.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be 3 pretty good fly-offs in a row for them, wouldn't it?
Money to win it.
They pay, don't they? I mean, what sort of contract could you see Marcus Smith getting?
Same as Finn. Easy.
What, 2 million?
Same one he's getting at Bath. I could see Marcus Smith getting $1 million.
That's money for Marcus Smith, you know. He's young in his career.
Oh,
money. I could see him staying in Racing for a good 5 or so years at least.
And the RF, you need to change that rule.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. You've got the WRU and the Welsh provinces in the URC struggling. You've got multiple teams, just the Premiership in general struggling. The only teams in the UK circle, I'm not including Ireland, are the 2 Scottish teams. Those are the only teams, because like we said last week, the centralised contracts that clearly work, because Edinburgh and Glasgow are making signings left, right and centre. They're making finals in the European Cup. Well, Edinburgh aren't, Glasgow are. But you know what I mean? You know, Edinburgh are splashing the cash. They're making signings. They've got star-studded players.
Like 2 champions.
Finals. Yeah.
Let that sink in. Ben Healy's just won the URC with Munster.
The URC, yeah, and Premiership champion.
And Robin Hislop's just won another Prem with Saracens.
Exactly.
We'll come into Edinburgh.
Let's not talk about the Premiership and the WRU anymore. Let's talk about Cheslin Colby.
Oh no, because it just gets worse. One of the best players in the world.
Man of the match performance in the Challenge Cup final. Man of the match performance. He was absolutely insane. And Toulon have been like, yeah, no, off you go. Sorry, mate.
You know what they said? It makes it worse. It's just business.
It's just business. Yeah.
Let's just lose money, because who even needs a Cheslin Colby on a team? Who needs them?
Literally everybody needs a Cheslin Colby on their team.
I've already got a Cheslin Colby on mine. It's called Darcy Graham.
Yeah, you've got the Tesco basic Cheslin Colby, but can we just talk about, like, where can we see Cheslin Colby going? Like I said, guys, it's been a very long day. So I can see, like, there's rumors of him going to Japan. Sun Goliath, I think we said. Rumors. Yeah. But then not long ago, about halfway through the URC season, I believe he was in talks with the Stormers.
See, I've heard that he's saying no. No, I don't know how much.
Where would you like to see Cheslin Colby go? You personally, where would you like to see him play?
See, if you asked me, it's like 4 years ago, I would have said Premiership.
Yeah.
Get yourself to Saracens. I don't like Saracens, but get yourself to Saracens.
I don't think any big players will be signing for
Prem
in the next season, to be honest.
I think another French team might have to pick him up. I think Racing or La Rochelle could splash.
Racing with a Cheslin Colby, a Marcus Smith, Warrant Gallant in the backfield, Gail Fickou. Well,
imagine La Rochelle who's pairing it up with
Cheslin Colby would fit nicely into a La Rochelle setup because La Rochelle are such a physical team to have a little whippet like Cheslin Colby to just unleash. Could or maybe even a Stade Francais, Cheslin Colby in pink.
I like it. All right.
But obviously, I'd like to see him go back to South Africa. I'd like to see him. Obviously, I'd like to see him play for the Sharks, but I don't think. Honestly, I think the two teams that would probably sign him, because I believe the Stormers are just coming out of administration. I think they're still in works with that because if you didn't know, Stormers were in administration last season when they won it, so that was a big achievement for them.
And did they get
the Lions?
Did they close their doors? No, because we've sorted a way to do it.
Exactly. I don't think he would sign for the Bulls because they've got the likes of a Kane and Moody, a Kirtley Arens, a Stain. They're pretty stacked there for choices. Similani, they've got players there. The Sharks, you've got Werner Kork, Takaya Abrahams, Manus Pochita, Makazoli Mapimpi. We've got Afalele Fassi, Cohen Bosch. We're pretty stacked there as well.
The report I've seen, and again, I don't know how true this is, apparently the Stormers offered 15 million, is it Rand?
Rand, yeah.
And he said no.
15 million Rand's not a lot of money.
How much is that, roughly?
Now you're questioning me. 15 million Rand in dollars, but I've just converted to dollars. So it'd be about, actually it's not bad, it's about 700,000.
He said no.
And he said no to that.
Oh, so Sun Goliath in Japan apparently offered him 22 million Rand.
So that's probably breaking the million. That's $1 million a year or more. Do you know where I could see Cheslin Colby in like an Ulster or a Leinster.
Oh yeah, because that's what Leinster need. That's the missing bit that they've.
I could see him in a Ulster setup. I wouldn't like to see it. Premiership, like I said, I can't see him. Maybe a Hart. Imagine Cheslin Colby's a Harlequin.
Imagine Cheslin Colby as a chief. We've got free space now. We've let go of like everyone. So
literally your whole squad. I think Jack Knowles said in I can't remember which podcast he was on, but he was like, it's made it easier for me leaving because literally all the people I started with were all going at the same time. The whole squad just gone.
I was actually starting 15 of players leaving. I'm just saying, you're apparently allowed one marquee signing.
A Cheslin Colby, a $2 million contract to Cheslin Colby. Is Andre Pollard a marquee signing for Leicester?
I honestly don't know.
He must be because he was on big money at Montpellier. I believe a couple of years ago he was up there with the highest play, like top 3 highest paid players. He has to be a marquee signing for Leicester.
The only reason I know that Finn Russell is dubbed a marquee signing.
Yeah, because he cost $2 million.
It costs your whole budget, yeah.
Literally everything.
And so wait a minute, does that mean Thomas Dutoy isn't marquee signing then? It's just a signing. He's somehow fit. You've managed to pay Thomas Dutoy in the salary cap.
Yeah, that's mad. We've discussed this before. How are Bath are forward in this? Oh, what is going to happen to the Premiership? What is going to happen to the WRU? What's going to happen to Cheslin Colby? And yeah,
and next week on the Rugby Connection podcast.
Random game of the week. Quickly, go. Give it to me.
Well, I have MLR. Yuck.
Oh my God. What's going on?
The Seattle Seawolves beat the Utah Warriors 27 points to 20. Well done, the Seawolves. Actually, here's one for you. Just a bonus one, just because the news has been a mess. Georgia under 20s 40, England under 20s 38.
Oh, yeah. What a big win. Yeah, Georgia cooking something special. Where do I feel like going?
And I've just seen more bad news.
Go on, hit me with the bad news.
London Irish, this was an hour ago. So we were recording on Monday night. This was posting an hour ago. So by tomorrow, when this episode comes out, London Irish expected to be suspended from Premiership on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, just let them spend money, please.
I found my random game of the week. We are going to the Premier 15s. The ladies. Worcester versus Harlequins women. 33-33. Absolute stalemate.
I have a question for you, even though I do watch Premier 15s. Worcester Warriors. Dead. Finished.
Six-ways rugby.
It's not six-ways rugby. The women is University of Worcester Warriors.
Yeah.
How's that a thing? How's that work?
I don't know.
Who's funding them?
I honestly, I thought this myself. The same with the Wasps. The Wasp women still are in the top flight, whereas the Wasp men have been demoted to literally lower than my local team.
And you want another kick in the teeth that makes no sense? Ealing Trailfinders can't get promoted to the Premiership because their stadium isn't big enough. Introducing the new team to Premier 15s. Ealing Trailfinders. What? How? How? Make it make sense.
I don't know, Murray. I don't know.
There's something fishy going on, and either the girls are getting to spend money, just fucking piss money up a wall, and the guys aren't as a punishment for some reason. Just let everyone spend money.
Just give them money. Just money. Give us all money. Bring back the Premiership. Bring back English rugby to where it should be.
Let us, instead of Gallagher Premiership, let us be the RCP Premiership. Let it be the Rugby Connect. We'll fund it the way it's going. We need a GoFundMe page, but it's fine.
Yeah, I was about to say I can offer an empty Monster can.
I can offer
tissues, and I suppose I could sacrifice my car.
How old's your car? My car's like 12 years old. It's no use to anyone. It's not even allowed to go in cities anymore.
Mine's a 62 plate, so 2014 mine is. Ford Fiesta 1.2.
God, mine's a Ford Mondeo, but mine's a 10 plate. Like, it's not allowed to go in cities anymore coming forward.
Oh shit, yeah, with the emissions rules.
Yeah, because
unlucky, mate.
All right, I'll walk to non-Premiership games. There we go. Sorted.
Yeah.
There's been no interview this week.
Yeah, I was just about to say we haven't had one this week, have we?
No, but I told you something very interesting.
Yes, let's not.
I'm not saying nothing.
There's a clue. There's a clue somewhere in this video that could hint at who's coming to the RCP.
It's Chris Pratt, because Cam's got a Jurassic Park hat on.
It is. We have Chris Pratt is coming to the RCP to talk about dinosaurs and how dinosaurs link to rugby, and if Jonah Lomu technically counts as a dinosaur because he was that massive and powerful.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. So there's not been any interview this week because we're trying to clamp down on the big one. Like, not that we don't love all our guests, but sometimes there's bigger names available, so we kind of hold off.
And believe me, if we clamp down this, it's gonna be a hell of an interview. Might be the biggest one yet.
Biggest one I'll ever do.
100%.
Easy. But we'll keep you guessing. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Instagram. Follow us all, because we're going to do some more lives. We're going to do watch-alongs, me and Cam.
Yes, the watch-alongs are coming.
Maybe even do it on YouTube. Who knows?
Can we do a Currie Cup watch-along for the final?
I don't have Sky, but okay.
Well, we'll just we'll work something out.
Okay. Well, until next week, where we've got more knockout rugby, but it's Super Rugby, top 14 semi-finals, Cam's beloved Currie Cup. Hopefully there's cheerier news next week.
Yes, hopefully next week we're gonna find out that
London Irish are saved, and we could spend
London Irish is saved, and Fiji and Drua have automatically won the Super Rugby.
just off vibes alone.
Yeah, just vibe checks that all the rest of the teams. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Follow all our socials, and don't be a knobhead.